All right. Thank you, Alex. Beautiful music as always. I'm going to have to shorten our um, program on my sermon this morning because I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to be in the chat rooms. And so I'll just mention that this slide came out of a UUA website, and it's a bit of irony and a bit of facetiousness, but isn't it true? We're always looking for signs which in real life are much more difficult to find. So I've found, excuse me, the past 8 months has turned not only our personal worlds, but our QAnon and the UP worlds upside down. The upside down part started long before March. It goes back to November of 2016 when protests broke out after the election and have continued. I once saw a sign in a substance abuse program that said, "No one is so bad that they can't be used as an example." And that example has galvanized people on both sides of the political divide. You tie that into with the Black Lives Matter, the millennial generation, led by young women, has created a multifaceted movement. I haven't seen anything like it since the 60s with the civil rights movement occurring in the early in the decade, then environmentalism, and then later feminism all came forth. So in this era, we seem to have telescoped that all into about a 1 year period. So what is gratifying is the people have realized the value of their voting franchise and the importance of our democratic infrastructures. What other breakthroughs are we going to be seeing in the next few years as we go along? So, let's see. If you could go to the next slide, Leonard. Okay. Well, this is supposed to be a picture of a woman by the name of, there it is, Lynn Twist. And she was on this program called What Could Possibly Go Right? And I like the subtitle even better, Conversations with Culture Scouts. And so I saw this one sentence, which is in the next slide, that in every breakdown, there are the seeds of a breakthrough, though they can be hard to find. And I think that kind of describes what we're going through right now with the coronavirus, with the election, and with the change in generations that has really been solidified in the last 4 years. So, pardon me while I try to put together this sermon as I go along here. So what I wanted to mention out of all of the slides, and we can go to the first of the last 4 slides at the bottom. And while we're doing that, I saw this article in the Bridge magazine about what is happening to the morale of healthcare workers. And you'll see the pictures of 2 nurses and a physician who work in Michigan hospitals. This is Gwen, and the next guy is Eric, and then the physician is Allie. So these are the folks who are the front line of what is happening in terms of the outbreaks that have to be dealt with as people fill the hospitals And the problems seem to be that the people who are in the healthcare field are getting weary. You know, the morale is starting to crack. And they feel that they've lost their public support. There's even anger, if you go to the last slide. And you can see the quotation from Gwen the nurse. So, but what do we do if we have this system break down significantly? Where are people going to go? So and then the question is, if that is the case, what will be the breakthrough that we need in order to be able to revive this system or find a way to deal with all of these problems? And the reason it's so concerning for all of us is that even though, as I heard this morning on NPR, they could be starting vaccinations next month. In the meantime, there's still going to be people who are going to catch the virus and they're going to have to be hospitalized. And so we're really kind of between a rock and a hard place. And as the speaker on the program this morning mentioned, it's going to take at least 3 out of 4 people to be able to, in this country, for the vaccine to be effective and keep the virus at bay. And one of the things that I saw is that approximately 52% of the people will say they will become vaccinated. So we have a goal to reach. So how do we reach that goal? And that's going to be the big question. And so we will be seeing what goes on in the next year. Now, getting back down to our lives, what I had planned on doing is talking a little bit about Thanksgiving. But what I really would like to do is have you go into chat rooms and this. So what we want to do is get back and find how we've lived our lives in the last 8 months. This is where the chat room part comes in. So you've had 8 months of fairly large amount of physical isolation or limited contacts. So what's going on in your inner life? What have you been doing, thinking, your relationships? What have you found out? We're going to encourage each of you to share what you feel comfortable with. Do follow along the lines suggested in the reading from Walt Whitman. So if you're younger and making your way through the world, how are you doing? Coping, striving, thriving? In revealing yourself, you may be helping someone else who has not seen the same thing that you have. Now we can find out in a small, comfortable group. So if we want to put people together, this is an opportunity for about 15 minutes. And then we'll have a chance for people to talk about what they discussed in their groups for a few minutes before we end the service.
Okay, Horst, let me say that we have 34 participants. How many people would you like in a room?
I would say about no more than 6, maybe 7 at the most.
Okay, so we'll make about 6 rooms. And the question is, I'd like a little more clarity on the question. The question, as I understand it, is what has it been like for us internally and externally as we've been isolated and going through COVID?
That's a very good summation.
Okay, I will take me a moment to create the breakout rooms.
Sure. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes. Welcome back again, everyone. Is there